This lesson is transformations or reflections, flips for part B for board number 18. We're going to extend what we learned in part A onto this board using the geometric shapes. So we can start off and plot a very similar rectangle to the last one. This time we'll plot 4 red pawns in the bottom right quadrant, which is quadrant number 2, and we have a 6 by 3 rectangle. So what we need to do is we need to take the geometric shape that correlates to the 6 by 3 rectangle, and we can place it on the board and just let students see the relationship between the 4 plotted coordinates, and then you can remove the pawns so that they can see the shape and what the coordinates are. So now what our job to do today is to reflect this orange rectangle over the x-axis, the y-axis, and also over the sloping diagonal axis. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 4 blue pawns and we're going to reflect these as well. So we're going to look at this quadrant and we're going to reflect it into this quadrant. So this coordinate right here, or vertex, is going to be reflected 1 diagonal down here, so we're going to go 1 diagonal up there. Then we're going to work on this coordinate. This is the coordinate 5, 0, and we're going to see that there are 1, 2 and a half diagonals, so we have a half, 1, 2 and a half diagonals. So we have reflected the top 2 coordinates of the orange rectangle up into the top left quadrant. We'll work now on this one. It's 2, negative 6, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonals. So from here we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonals and place the pawn, and then as well we'll take this one, 5, negative 6, and we'll reflect it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half diagonals, half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have now reflected it over the diagonal axis. And this is the most challenging of the 3. Since we did this in the last lesson, we can show the relationship between the shape and the coordinates, and it's easy for you to remember. Now what we'll do is we'll reflect this directly over the x-axis, and we can see that the bottom right vertex of this rectangle is 5, negative 6, so the reflection is going to become 5, positive 6. Notice that the x value stays the same when you reflect over the x-axis, and the y value becomes the opposite. So if it was negative 6 to begin with, it becomes positive 6. When you reflect this, since it's 0 units away from the x-axis, so is the reflection. Same with this coordinate. And finally, this coordinate 2, negative 6 becomes 2, positive 6. So this is the reflection, and you can just take the shape and turn it around, and that is how it would be reflected on this board. So let's replace it back in the original position and finally reflect it over the y-axis, and we can see that the rectangle is 2 units away from the y-axis. So we'll place the first reflected coordinate 2 units to the left of the y-axis. Here we'll do the same thing, 5 units away. Then we'll reflect this one right here, and we'll reflect this one right here. So this is how you use board number 18, the geometric shapes and the pawns, to show reflections.